I am so excited for this one, you guys. Today is going to be absolutely amazing. We are with a legend. Is she not gorgeous? Mimi Kirk. We are in her home. Her home is stunning, such good vibes, and it's such an honor to sit down with you. Hey, Mimi, how's it going?
Really great. I'm so glad that you're here in person.
Me too.
This is great.
Yeah, our first time meeting.
I know.
And you were 85.
85.
Oh my goodness. Even like walking into your house, you have so much energy. You made so much food for us, juice, and you just embody like youth. You look amazing. It feels like I'm hanging out with somebody my age.
That's so nice.
So we're going to find out all your secrets. We're going to get into so much, but for anybody who's just meeting you, I want to start because you've been a long-term vegan and long-term raw as well. And I'll just let everybody know, you wrote 7 books in your 70s. You were named one of PETA's sexiest women alive when you were 70 years old, I think.
Well, actually, sexiest vegetarian over 50.
Sexiest, yeah, amazing. So like so many things to talk about, but for anybody who doesn't know, like what first kicked off your health journey? So why did you first get into the raw foods way back when, and what happened?
Well, let's go back a little further.
Yeah.
I became a vegetarian when I was 30 because I really realized then what was happening with animals. And I just couldn't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. I was on my way to work one day and I was eating some, roast beef, and I felt like I was eating my flesh. And I couldn't do it. So I went home and told my kids, we're going to be vegetarians. And I told them why, and they were into it right away. They said, oh, we don't want to hurt animals. They didn't understand until I told them what was happening. So that's how it all started. And so I was a vegetarian, and then I understood what vegan was. So then I shifted later on to a vegan. But raw vegan didn't come until much later.
Yeah.
I was in my 60s, my later 60s. And I had gone off of eating any good foods for a while because when I met my boyfriend, he ate everything. And my mother told me the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So I thought I'd better start cooking the guy some meat or something. So for about 3 years, even though I didn't eat much of it or any of it most of the time, my health went down, and I went for my usual checkup, and they told me my cholesterol and my blood pressure was high. And he gave me 2 prescriptions, and I went home and I went, there's no way I'm filling these things. My family is on so many medications. I do not want to start this. I started looking online, and, I always make that joke, everything on the internet is true. Anyway, there were so many different things, but raw food kept coming up. And I was like, oh no, I love to cook, and this is not going to work. But I don't want to take the medication. So I called to my daughter. I said, look, I'm going to do this raw food thing for a couple weeks. You want to do it with me? So I looked at recipes. There were some online. I didn't like them. Started making some of my own things. I was eating mostly salads because that's what you think is the easiest. And I've been juicing for years, so that was part of my regime as well. But I felt so good immediatI'm I thought my teeth were whiter, my eyes were brighter. I called her like a week and a half later, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm going to eat like this forever." It's just like a shot of energy happened.
It's a huge difference. That was the same thing for me. Amazing.
And when I have a good green drink, it's the same thing. I know when I drink a green drink if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Because I could feel it immediately. Well, anyway, that was it. And so I decided that was the way I was going to eat from now on. And that's what I did.
And who knows, like if you hadn't adopted those health habits, you might be living a completely different life right now at 85, right?
There is no question in my mind. Because at the time, I didn't exercise. I didn't like exercise. It was strictly diet that made me feel healthy. My weight just leveled out perfectly. The only problem was I didn't like a lot of the food that was out there. I tried some restaurants, didn't like it. I made food from certain recipes, I didn't like it, and that was it. I just decided I can cook and figure out everything. It isn't a big deal to figure out. It's spices that could do everything.
Yeah.
There's some little tricks in there, and then I started fixing this food, and then I was posting some things online, and all of a sudden someone said, why don't you write a book? Well, didn't measure anything. So I said, well, let me see. And then I found an agent through a friend, and she got me a publisher. Within 2 days, they called me.
No way, meant to be.
I wrote a treatment, and my age was, up there, so they figured this should be interesting.
Yeah.
And I had to write down all the recipes and started making them and doing the book. And it took me a while to write it, but that was my first book, which is still evergreen.
And that was in your 60s, right? Your first book?
Yeah.
Amazing. See, I love that.
Yeah. 70.
70.
I just turned 70. I'd been eating raw before, but I just turned 70. That was my first book. And I wrote all my books in my 70s.
That's incredible.
But it's so interesting to think about, you know, that there's not much difference. Okay, so you don't make pasta, but you still have pasta. You use zucchinis, you know, and you make sauces.
Yeah.
You know, you make a cold or red sauce, you know, you make a cheese sauce. You can make anything you want.
Yeah.
That's came to my second book when I realized I could travel around the world to make German food and Italian food and,
Yeah.
you know, Thai food, and I can make it all raw.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Amazing. So raw food has changed your life in so many
Definitely.
different ways, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I know I always feel best. I always like to tell people now I eat some cooked food. I eat a sweet potato. I eat artichokes. I eat some things cooked because I cook for my boyfriend, Mike. And I like calling him my boyfriend, even though we've been together 21 years.
Yeah, I love it. And he's younger, right?
Yeah, he's younger, 20 years younger.
Yeah,
than I was.
I love that.
But I'll cook for him sometimes. So I eat something cooked, but when I'm eating all raw, I feel the best I've ever felt. There is no question about it. I get so many, and I'm sure you do too. There's so many people that say, oh, where do you get your protein? And how can you eat this food? And if you're a long-time raw foodist, you're going to be sick. It's like, really?
But look at you,
That's
right?
what I say. Well, sorry. I've been eating this a long time and I'm older. So all I can tell you is that my own experience from this, which I just love this food. And I think it is delicious. And I don't tell people they have to eat this all the time. Incorporate some raw dishes. Like my daughter, Mia, and I wrote Raw Vitalize, which is a 21-day book. All right. So take that book and take the recipes you like out of that and add that to your weekly foods. You don't have to do it every day if you're not ready for it. But once you learn to make them, you won't forget them. They'll be just like simple, easy, everyday foods.
Yeah.
And it is quick and it's clean. And, you know, some of the stuff if you want to do gourmet, it takes a little time. You need your dehydrator.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to plan ahead. You got to soak the nuts and do those things. But honestly, it just kind of fits into the whole program, I find.
Yeah.
I'm sure looks like you do the same thing.
I do the same thing, and I switch it up. The raw foods are exciting. There's so many different ways of eating, and you can switch it up. And I just feel like you're completely thriving, and like I really admire you. So I think like I want to be like this in my 80s, my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, beyond.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, no, and so like that's part of what keeps me going. Like amazing people like you, like really thriving. Why do you think you thrive, and why do you think maybe some people don't? Or like, how can we be like you? What's the secret?
Well, here's the other part of it. Now I do exercise, very important, but you have to think right. Your brain, your heart and your brain are connected. If you're a kind, loving person, it goes to your brain. Your cells can hear you. I believe in the whole epigenetics thing, that your cells can hear you. I do talk to my cells because I know that's what's keeping me healthy. It's a frame of mind that has to go with everything. You have to find a way. If you're not loving everything you do, don't do it. And I know sometimes you say, oh, I have to take this job or I have to do this. Then if you have to find a way to enjoy it. You have to look for something good in the stuff you don't like, because you can't live being down on yourself or thinking you're not okay or you're getting older or you don't like this line or this one bothers you. So what? I don't even look in the mirror. Good thing, because I can't see myself. My eyesight's not great. So I don't have to see how old I'm getting. But I think it's food. But if you don't have the mental capacity to change that up and be a happy person and a nice person, a thoughtful, good person, no jealousy, no stress, no anger. I know it sounds impossible, but it isn't. You have complete control over your life's movie. That's how I feel. So it's the food that I knew was nourishing. How could it not be? It's fresh. When you go to the market, and if you're in a foreign country and you're shopping in the outdoor markets the way they are, and you pick up a red pepper, it's this big. You could take a bite of it. Nothing tastes like that.
No.
Even when you cook your food, the taste is completely different. You've lost the carrot. You've lost the crunch. I just think it's the most delicious food, and it's the most delicious way to think. So I think that from a person who cooked and loved to cook for everybody, I let myself know how good this was. You know, I let myself know how good my life is. I let myself know every day how good I am, what a good person I am, and how happy I am and grateful to have the life I have and to be healthy at this age.
Yeah, to be doing podcasts, to be writing books, like still you have so much ahead of you too, right? You're not just like, I'm going to retire.
No, I become a professional artist. I started painting only a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I ship huge paintings all over the world. You know, I'm making enormous I love painting, and maybe that's the same thing as cooking to me, because
And that's why you're thriving too, because you're focusing on what you love, you know?
what I love.
Yeah.
I love good food. I mean, I put out just some fruit today for us and some dates, and I mean that is for me, and some green juice, of course. That's an awesome meal, and this is what keeps me. You know, I always feel when I'm painting, it's the same thing. It's all those colors that's in beautiful food, fresh food, and I'm painting those colors. It's all must be connected somewhere. I don't know where, but I do feel that when I'm painting.
I love that. And some people say, well, it's genetic. It's genetic, Mimi. This is just genes why you're thriving so high. So what do you say about that? And like, how would you compare to people in your family when they were at this age?
Well, I had a sister who lived this long. The rest of them died earlier. I have a sister who lived to be 89.
Wow.
She was on 15 medications a day. And I have to say, she never was a happy person.
Aww.
And she ate everything. And she just had an energy that was very different than my other sister. I have a sister, actually, who's 88. She's 2.5 years older than me. She doesn't eat this way that I eat, but she's got a great frame of mind. This is what's kept her. But she's had cancer twice. And I don't think her health is as good as mine. I'm telling you this, sister, because this is the truth. My sister, I'm talking to her. We talk to each other every day. She's always sending me her food. Yeah. Whatever she's eating for the day.
She is?
She sends me, this is where I went for breakfast. She still drives, and she's out there. She's an awesome person. But we don't eat the same. That's the one thing. We don't eat the same. And so she's lived long. Okay, that's genes. My mother lived to be 95. She didn't eat this way. She ate everything. She ate we were brought up a standard American diet. She loves sweets. So okay, that may be genes, but you can't count on that. I tell people all the time, I don't care if your dad or your grandfather smoked and he lived to be 100 or something. That is a minute amount of people who that happens for. You can't just trust your genes.
So true. I know, because people will be like, well, they smoke every day, or they eat this, and they're 101. And
that's like such a small amount of people. The people who are living long are the blue zone people.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're eating raw, but they're eating from their garden. They're exercising. They're walking every day. They have good friends and family, their church, whatever it is, around them all the time. They are eating basically healthy, fresh foods, salads, soups, beans.
And they're nourishing themselves. They're taking care of themselves. They're showing self-love to their body, right?
Exactly. And they don't think about age like we do here in America, honestly. They live to be 100 and over, and they don't talk about the food because that's the way they've been eating forever. So, I mean, I'm okay now. I think the worst thing that vegans can do, or raw vegans or anybody, is to preach to somebody else what they should eat.
Me too,
It's
Mimi.
a turnoff.
Me too. I agree 100%.
I can sit at a table with someone eating meat, and I'm not saying anything. That's them. I am not going to attack anybody or make anybody wrong because they want to eat something that I don't particularly eat. That's fine. That is fine. I think that's the worst thing to do. Because
Me too.
I really think that people learn their own body over time. And if you think you need something, do that for yourself. But you have to eat enough raw food. I really say that. You have to eat salads. You have to eat enough raw food to keep your enzymes and your health going. If you want to eat other stuff, fine. But you've got to get this juice in every day. If you don't want to do anything else, have a juice and a big salad, and then la-di-da.
Yeah, like what are some of your staples or your keys that you think like, well, I'm thriving right now because I've had this green juice every day, or because I've done this? Are there certain things? And like, what's your favorite green juice recipe? What are a couple of your key staples or like secrets for like this longevity, you know?
Well, I really do feel that my diet changed everything. I'm not on medications. I don't have to fix myself up or blow my lips up, or, you know, I've let my hair go natural finally after all this time. I love the blonde hair. I was okay. That's my thing. I like, people say, well, why are you blonde? Why are you doing blonde hair? Because I like the blonde hair.
Yeah.
If you want that, do that, you know, but this is the way I am now. I am different than I was 10 years ago. There's no doubt about it. Do I feel older? No.
And I have to say, like, I'm up close with you. Your skin is amazing. I even said, do you have Botox, Mimi? Like, I probably have more lines in my forehead than you. I'm not even kidding.
I don't think
Your skin is amazing.
Thank you.
And your energy, your vibrancy, just even like everybody with us is like, wow, like it's amazing.
Well,
juice, right?
Just to answer your question.
And this is okay,
juice,
right? The mic?
Juice, people. It's juice, everybody. This is the main thing. If you do nothing else, make a smoothie. So I have a friend who just had a little injury. She couldn't do anything for herself. She likes to eat salad. She's not a raw person or anything, but she can't eat the foods that made her feel good. So I said, would you like some juice? And she said, oh my God. So I've been juicing for her.
Green juice, right?
Green juice. And then Michael delivered. He does a little DoorDash, he says.
So nice.
And then I made her a turmeric latte, a golden milk. I called it a latte though. And then I made her just a turmeric shot with some orange juice in it. And I've been giving her juice every day. She said it's saving her. And now she's buying herself a little blender thing so she can make a smoothie. Yeah. That changed her life, and she's in her 70s.
Wow. So now it's never too late, right?
It's never too late. It really is never too late. Honestly, I'm amazed that I'm still here and I still feel young. And I look at people who are 90, 100, and I go, oh my God, this is so great. Look at you. Mm-hmm. I could be there myself. Mm-hmm. I could. You know, I don't know what happens in life or when it's your time to go. It's not, but I'm so grateful that I'm here this long and I'm healthy. Honestly, that is the main thing. Nothing else is that important except to keep your health right. It really is major.
100%. And would you say you're the happiest you've ever been?
Probably.
Wow.
I'm always a happy person. Mm-hmm. But right now, I really feel, I think when you get older, this is what happens. You feel time is shorter. That's something that is in your mind when you get older. Time is shorter, and it's like, I want to enjoy every damn day, every second possible. Who knows? I do really feel I'll live long. I'm not being glum by saying this, but it's made me even appreciate everything so much more. You know, I tell my kids, look at me. You know, I know so many kids at my age, they're not kids anymore, but so many people that are my kids' age that don't have mothers anymore. Mother's Day was hard for them because their mothers are gone. And I talk to my girls several times a day, not just once a day, several times a day. They ask me things all the time. They ask my opinion on stuff. They tell me when they're with me, they feel like they're with a young person because I have so much energy.
That's how I feel with you.
And I feel really grateful about that. And I do think that there are the key things. It's what you eat, it's how you think, and it's exercise. If you can pull those three things together, I know you're busy working, you could be 40 and I don't have time. Let me tell you, start now. Never too early. It's also never too late. You really have to think about your own health. Put yourself first, whether it's saying I'm going to walk 15 minutes out from my house and 15 minutes back. I'm going to do that every day. And it's the other thing I think, I'm sure you'll agree, it's the regularity of something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's doing something that you make a commitment to that you do every day. Like you get up and go to work every day. Well, make a commitment to something for yourself every day. Like
and when we incorporate these positive health habits or positive habits, it just leads to more positivity too in our life versus if we incorporate some negative habits, then it's just kind of like a spiral of negative habits, right?
Right.
Yeah.
My daughter's a executive director. My one daughter, Mia, is executive director of a preschool, and she preps her food every Sunday. She gets her juices all ready, and then just puts them in the blender to take with her. She picks it up. She fixes her lunches, her salads, and then she doesn't fix the dinner, but she meal preps 2 meals a day to make sure that she gets her nutrients because she needs it for all the energy that she puts out.
Exactly. That's why I eat raw. I need all the energy. And
all
like
the
you
energy.
were saying, like about talking to your kids, it's part of the reason I take care of myself now at 41 because I want to live a long life for my kids.
Exactly.
And see their kids.
Exactly.
Because it's sad when you have to lose your parents when they're younger.
Early.
And that how we choose to eat is such a big part of that, right?
It is. And I think dark leafy greens. Let's hear it for dark leafy greens.
Go dark leafy greens. I love it.
I have fruit out today, but honestly, greens. All the juices I was fixing my friend was kale and spinach and romaine and those power greens that they sell now. And organic is it. Yeah. Do not have juice unless it's organic. I'm sorry. A lot of people say just juice. Any juice is okay, but I'm sorry.
The pesticides,
I don't want any. You're juicing. Everything is going in there. And by the way, I wrote, I think, a wonderful tea book called Tea Vitalize. And I say, get yourself organic teas. You don't want that tea sitting in hot water, do you? No, you don't.
No.
And I love that book so much because now for summer, I just make all those cold brew teas. I put the tea bags or the loose tea in the mason jar, in the refrigerator. And the next day I take it out or strain it. Mike loves those things, hibiscus or whatever. That's what you should be drinking because you need to hydrate. And that is very helpful for hydration. Some people don't drink enough water. This will make you drink a lot. And it could be so beautiful when I have company. I put it in with beautiful ice cubes and, you know, a lemon or lime or orange peel or something on there. It's delicious.
Yeah.
So hydration is another important
And
thing.
that's the thing, the whole lifestyle, it's delicious.
Right,
It's exciting.
delicious.
It's not like a life sentence, like, oh, boring. I couldn't live without my, you know, donuts or pizza
Right.
or
Or
wine
burger.
every night or, you know.
Or a burger.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make all those things taste good, whether it's vegan or vegetarian or raw. But, you know, the one thing, no matter what for me, is I don't wear leather. I am definitely a vegan for compassion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
that's the big thing for me.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. And
Great.
I you know, who knows what's next? I don't think, well, this is the end of my life. This is, I don't have to do, I'm painting. And something will come after that too.
Yeah, because who knows, 10 years ago, you were probably doing completely different things.
Completely different.
And you keep going with the flow and changing those things. It's not like you
Exactly.
do one thing and you have to stay stuck in that, right? That's where people
Well,
maybe
that's
run
a
into
big thing.
problems, right?
Even in a job or work or anything, you don't have to. I don't care. Even if you're trained at it, you don't have to stay with that. You could do whatever you want. No matter what you're doing, you still have to take care of your diet, but you could do anything else. And I think, you know, I'm such a positive thinker. I really feel like I can create things happening. You know, here's a little thing that happened. I'll just tell you that like I told you, my blood pressure was up, and then when I went to see my doctor, he said, "Oh, the medication's working." And I was like, "I didn't take it." He was shocked.
Wow.
I didn't take any of the.
And that was
things-
when you went raw?
Yeah, and I didn't take. I said I didn't take any of the medication.
And then what did he say?
Well, he was dumbfounded completely. Well, what did you do? I said, change my diet. I said, why don't you tell people to change their diet? He said, because I'm here to save lives. People won't do it. It's work. They give me a pill. They come in here and they say, give me a pill. I don't want to do anything. Okay, if that's what you want. Mine is like, don't give me the pill. Let's see what I can do on my own. And I'm not telling people to do that. You have to stay under your doctor's care.
Yeah, of course.
So sometimes my blood pressure goes up, but I don't really have high blood pressure anymore. I don't take any medication for high blood pressure. But I was giving blood one time or something, and they said I couldn't give it if my blood pressure was up, and it was up. I said, can you give me 10 minutes? And he said, yes. I went over, and I just meditated, and I thought of what I wanted that number to be, and I went back, and it was that number. So
Stop.
I feel
Wow.
that's not only one time. I feel like I have control over that.
Yeah, like the law of attraction, and we're the
learned-
creators of our life, right?
I learned that I can control my blood pressure. I can control if I get nervous about something, I have control. I just have to stop for a second and go within. I've meditated for years. I don't do it every day, but I started when I was 30 because I lost my husband and I didn't understand life at all. I had all these kids.
Yeah,
and
that's
he was killed in
right.
a plane crash. Like, he's gone, and somebody told me to learn to meditate, and that was probably one of the best things I've ever done.
Really?
It was awesome. And so I meditated for many, many hours every day. In the morning before I'd go to the studio, and when I'd come home, I'd meditate. And I don't all the time, but I can close my eyes anytime and meditate.
And do you feel like I have to get into meditation, but do you feel like spending that time meditating, it's reflected and helped other areas of your life? then?
Everything.
Yeah.
You start to see everything differently. You start to see, you know, kind of why we're here and what's real and what's not real. And, you know, and it helps you with everything. It nourishes your body the same way, and it nourishes your mind the same way food does. It does the same thing. It's not easy to do, but you don't have to do it long even. You can start 5 minutes, because our minds are always going like this. We have to kick back sometime and just have that time for ourselves. Whether you go to the bathroom to do it if you have kids, or sometimes
Yeah, because I have kids. It's hard.
It's
They're
hard.
up early. They're, you know,
Yeah,
it's chaos. So
Yeah, I know, because I raised kids by myself, but
yeah.
no one else to take care of them but me. I remember that I'm going to the bathroom, and I would sit in there and meditate for a while. So find a time for yourself. I even do it before I go to bed. And when I wake up, I really try to say, this is going to be an awesome day. Look at me. I'm awake again. I'm alive. I feel great.
I love it. I
And
love
I
the
sleep
positivity.
great. And I sleep great. And I think that is a
That's
big part
key.
of everything.
Sleep is so
Yeah.
important.
If you're not happy, you have to figure out what can make you happy. And that's the other thing I would say. No one else can make you happy.
No.
I mean, it's not that you don't feel your relationship is great or your kids make you happy. That's not it. Only you can make, you know what makes you happy. Mm-hmm. And you also know what makes you unhappy, and you have to make those kind of choices.
That's why I've heard you talk about how it's important in life, like the most important thing to be our authentic self.
Right.
And that kind of leads into that, right? So what if someone's out there and they feel like they're not being themselves? How can we be more ourselves, you know?
Well, I think that we're our worst critic. So many women I know have always looked at themselves and looked at what's wrong. They can't see past that. I don't know what to do, except that there are some tricks they say that work, is stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself something every day that you like about yourself. Start there. Say, I love you, even if you don't feel it. Treat yourself like someone you love, because you have to love yourself. I tell people, you know, when I consult people, I say, zip that up. Everything you're telling me about you is negative right now. I don't think I can do this, and I don't like this about myself. It's like, your words can hear you. Zip that up. Seriously. Mm-hmm. And I really think the universe is all energy, and whatever you put out there, negativity, you're going to get that back. If you keep saying only bad things happen to you, guess what?
So our life is essentially a reflection of everything going on inside, right?
Everything.
Including our thoughts.
I really feel that. I've really seen it. I really feel like physically have experienced that.
Yeah, and as somebody who went through struggle and hard times,
Right.
like losing your husband,
Right.
so that was the father of your children, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
Because I
no.
have kids too, so that just must have been heartbreaking. And then raising your kids alone.
Yeah.
A lot of those types of experiences could make us go really bitter and negative and like spiral down. And I'm sure maybe you did have a period of time where you did that. I don't know. I can't remember from our last talk. But how, even if someone's watching going through a hard time, how did you manage to get through all of that and into this amazing life and amazing mental attitude?
Grief is very private for everybody. And all I could think about were my kids. Mm-hmm. Everything was about them. I had to get a job right away. We had no money, no insurance, nothing.
Scary.
Had to go to work.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know what I was going to do. Nothing in the bank, and we owed a huge amount of money, which
and
I
you
didn't know.
Have anyone who could help you. You were like on your own.
On my own. And, you know, I knew I had to get a job right away. So my brother-in-law worked in the film industry. He helped me get in as a screen extra. I had to go to work immediately and find a housekeeper to come in immediately to take care of my kids. Mia wasn't even a year old, and Lisa was 7. And 8, Jonas. My kids, 7 was my son, and 7 was the oldest. And but I always thought about my kids. And then the meditation really helped me let things go. But grief lasts for a long time. We've just our family's been very lucky not to have terrible things happen, but we just lost my grandson, Mia's son,
I'm so
24.
sorry.
And that
He was 24?
He was 24. He had
I'm sorry.
cardiac arrest. And
Cardiac arrest at 24?
Yeah. He didn't have any signs of it.
No way.
Yeah. And the whole family, we're a very tight family. We all jumped on a plane. Mia's in Virginia to be with her. And now she's dealing with it. It's been a year. It'll be a year in May. And she's going to grief counseling, and she deals with it amazingly well. I don't know how. She's so strong. But we cry. You know, we still cry. And grief is there. And those are the things that you have to be strong. You have to have a strong body for it to begin with, because that could put you down. Like you're asking, how did I do it? Well, I wanted to be there for my kids. I was already healthy. That holds you through a lot of things. That helps you through. You might not realize it, but it helps you through a lot to have a healthy body. Mm-hmm. So that's always one thing.
Good point.
But
because you never know what life will throw at you, and if you have the healthy body and a healthy mind with that, you can handle those things that are thrown at you so much better, right?
Absolutely. So I mean, we're all still doing it, dealing with it. We all still feel it. The whole family, you know, we get together. It's all a difficult situation, and she knows that as well, but she also knows that he would want her to be happy. And that's what we forget. Now, and I know there are a lot of people get divorced and everything gets very dramatic, but you have to stop yourself and see what's the drama and what is real. How do you really feel? How do you want to feel? So I really do feel, since I've been around the film industry so long, I really feel we write our own movie.
Because then you're being a victim too.
Exactly.
You're just going to attract more circumstances in your life on the outside to be a victim, right?
You draw more of that to you.
Yeah.
Negativity draws more negativity. And so aside from food, which we know is major, And
Major.
everyone wants to hear about all the food all the time, but you have to face other things. I know when I consult, I have a list of stuff people fill out, and they tell me they want me to help them with their diet. By the time I look at the list of questions I've asked them, it's more than that. It's not just their food. It's everything else around it that they don't want to admit is making them not lose weight or not feel healthy. It's emotional. It's old past things from family. You have to work on you have to work on yourself. That's it. But even while you're working, you have to love yourself. You might not like the way you look now, but so what? That's how you look. You better say you love it in the moment.
Yeah.
I love this, but maybe I want to lose a few pounds or I want to exercise more or something. But you have to love where you're at now. There's no tomorrow in my mind. Don't wait for tomorrow to be happy. Don't wait to change a relationship if it's not working. Don't wait. This is it. This is it. This is minute that we have. This is all there is. That's how I feel.
Wow, Mimi. So well said. I love it. And my viewers, they have some questions too.
Okay.
So I'm going to get the computer, but I was just staring at the green juice because I heard you mention before the greens and how much the greens have been,
Right.
But what do you think when there's some people out there that just eat fruit? What do you think about that? Have you ever tried that, or do you believe it? You believe in a big balance, right? I eat everything too. I believe in big balance, but what do you think about that?
I love fruit, but I don't believe for myself to be a fruitarian. I don't believe in a lot of fasting without getting nourishment to your body.
Yeah.
For some people, maybe a doctor says you need to go on a fast of some kind, water fast or something. I mean, I've been on those. I've done those. In my juice book, I have a lot of fasts that are not starvation. They're juices. I think you need nourishment in your body. And I think there's a lot of sugar out there. I don't know if that's sustainable because I haven't tried it. I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, I eat, 20 bananas and 16 mangoes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yummy, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. No, that's why I say greens are most important.
The greens do a
and
lot.
fruit, you have to have fruit too. You need all of it.
And like you said, even just adding in the green juice a day. That's
Even
what I say
that.
too. It does so much.
You cannot possibly get enough nutrients in your body with raw food unless you juice. I know how much I juiced, like bowls full to make a juice. And I eat big salads, but I couldn't eat all that stuff I put in a juice. Smoothies, you don't get as much, but when you're juicing, you have to put like the juice I made today. It took like 2 bags of spinach. It took, a quarter of a bag of kale. It takes a lot. Stalk of celery, a whole thing of romaine.
But it's worth it, right?
But you couldn't eat that.
No,
and
yeah.
you need that because that's the enzymes you're getting. That's going
Yeah.
to help you through everything. So I love smoothies. They're really easy and they're great, but I really feel you still have to have juice.
Me too. And the green juices specifically, like they do so much for your cells,
They
but
do.
some people will still come on the channel and they'll say, well, like, what about the fiber though? Isn't a smoothie better? So how would you answer that? How would you explain to someone like the benefits of green juice versus always just having the smoothie? Like I know smoothies are good too,
You're right.
but the green juices, they just go through to your cells.
Right.
It just feels so easily absorbed, right? And it does so much.
Because they're already digested for you.
Yeah.
So I get enough. I don't worry about that because I eat salads. So that's really good for me as well. I eat enough salads. So I don't think about that. I've never had an issue with it. But I do think I like strained juices because I like them thin. If I see there's a lot of stuff in my juice, I strain it.
Yeah.
But I really like a thin juice because it's pre-digested.
Me too, yeah.
I can feel it. This is the thing. My daughter Lisa and I always say, when you drink a good juice, it's all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, you
Yeah.
really feel it. And smoothies I love. They're more filling in
Me
a way,
too.
but they don't give me that wow thing.
Me too.
So I'm
same
a
thing.
green juice person.
Yeah.
And you want it to taste good. I love pineapple. I have pineapple in our juice today, which is
Oh
good.
yeah. What's your favorite green
And
juice
apples.
recipe?
Well, I always use spinach or dark leafy greens, whatever I have. I love kale and
Yep.
spinach mix. I love romaine. They all work really well. And I like a variety. I don't like to drink the same juice every day. Always a cucumber.
Yeah.
I use big English, organic, of course, cucumbers. That gives you a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
The green juice doesn't give you much liquid. When you
true.
when you juice, you think you've got bags of stuff in there, and you got about this much.
Yeah.
So now you need celery, which gives you a lot of liquid. You need cucumbers, which
Yeah.
give you a lot of that liquid. And I love pineapple or apple. Lemon is always good. Some people like ginger. Mike doesn't like it, so I don't put ginger in my drink. But I like a little hit of ginger. I'll maybe make it separately sometimes and put it in. That's basically it. And I like beets and stuff. But another juice I like is carrots and beets and cucumber and celery and pineapple can go in there. That's a sweeter drink, but sometimes I feel like my body needs some of that juice. I like to trade off between. I don't drink straight fruit juice, but I like to trade off my greens and my juices.
Switch it up.
I like to switch it up.
Things up for your gut too, right?
Yeah, definitely for your gut.
For your gut health. Yeah. And okay, somebody was asking, a few people are asking what specifically you eat in a day. Not sure currently what you're eating in a day. And they were saying they have your cookbook. It's changed their life. And yeah, so what are you currently eating in a day? And I'll link all your books down below for anybody wondering.
Okay. It's different. Yeah. I try to eat some days I'm not hungry. And some days I eat late. So it changes everything. And I don't like to eat late at night. Yeah. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah, Mike me too. It's a big difference how you feel the next day.
I might cook him later, but it does. I can't go to bed with food on my stomach.
Me too.
Even though I'm hungry, I have to say, okay, this is too late. It's like if I needed something, I would take a half a banana at 8 o'clock. But I'm usually eating by 5:30, 4:30, sometimes 5:30. Like it always said, old people eat early. Well, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
But so what did I eat in a day? Well, first of all, I need to have a salad. I have a huge salad bowl. It's about this big, and I make Mike a little salad, and then I have this giant salad.
Yeah.
And I have everything in it. I love radishes and cucumbers and sweet peppers. I chop that up. I love a little onion or scallions or shallots. I love that. I'll throw nuts in there. I love pine nuts in my salads. It's creamy, like
healthy too.
Almost like a cheese taste.
Yeah.
And so salads I try to eat every single day. And then for night, sometimes I have soup. And so if I'm going to eat something cooked, I might have some beans.
Yeah.
I might eat some. Sometimes I just eat some beans. That's all, because I find that's good protein if I'm going to eat not raw. But otherwise, I try to keep it all raw, whatever it is. I love zucchini pasta.
Yeah.
I make lasagna. I love gazpacho. All summer, I'd live on gazpacho. I love it. I have a really good recipe in one of the books. I just love it. And then I put all that stuff in there, chopped cucumbers and peppers and onions and all of that. So I try to make salads with everything. I eat raw corn.
Me too. It's good.
I love raw corn.
I love
so
raw corn.
Sweet.
So good in salads or with tacos or different
great.
Mexican style raw food. Or
And
so
broccoli. Good. I love broccoli. We're big broccoli eaters. I love broccoli. Mike, I cook it for him sometimes. I'll make soup for him sometimes. But I like raw vegetables. I really do. Raw cauliflower and he actually loves crudité. I'll fix that for him sometimes.
Yeah.
He loves all the raw vegetables. And if he's hungry late at night, I'll fix him that. That's always great to have in the house. To have, chopped up vegetables that you can eat.
Good idea. And do you supplement or no?
Yes, I do now.
Yeah.
This is a new thing. I take a green tablet or a green powder I have here. It's got tons of greens in it. My acupuncturist suggested it for me. I use those, and I'm taking a CoQ10, and I'm taking a vegan vitamin D now.
Nice, yeah.
But I didn't take supplements for a long time.
No.
But she recommended it to me recently, and I really feel good with it. I like it. It's feeling good. Do you take supplements?
I do. I take an all-in-one. It has like B12, D, K2, DHA, EPA, magnesium, selenium, and the D. I think I said, a few different things in one. Yeah. I feel better with it, so I take it.
I didn't realize. She said you should. I said I feel great. She said I know, but try this. And it was great.
And what do you think are your secrets? Your hair is great. Like, what are your hair secrets?
I have to say, I lost a lot of hair at one time. I thought I was going to be bald.
Wow.
Coming out, we were living in Spain back and forth. I didn't feel my diet changed. I didn't feel stressed. I don't know what happened. And I get a lot of email from people that tell me they're losing hair eating raw. So I don't know if this is a change in your body that happens or what. But my hairdresser tells me I've got really good hair and thick hair. And now that I'm not coloring it, it's even better. It was okay blonde, but now it seems thicker. And I don't know, it just feels more like my old hair.
Yeah.
Before I colored it. But I don't do anything special for that. Oh, well, let's talk about oil for a minute. Speaking of hair, I love avocados. A lot of people say you shouldn't eat oil. I'm someone... There's 2 schools to everything, or sometimes 3 or 4 schools to ideas people have. Yeah. But I like olive oil. I use olive oil in my salad dressings. I like avocados. I make hummus. So, those are cooked chickpeas, but I feel that's good. I like hummus as a snack.
Think that's good too.
Yeah. I eat seaweed. I love seaweed. I put a lot of things in seaweed wraps. I love everything in a seaweed wrap.
Yeah, and no meat ever, right?
No. No. I don't even.
How long? It's been a long
time.
God. Years.
No, I haven't eaten meat in decades.
Wow.
No meat, no chicken. I don't want any of that. I don't have any desire. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Because I can understand you're going to miss something if you're not cooking for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will eat out and think that's okay, but you're not getting nourished the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I know when I eat out, I'm not getting organic. I know
True.
not everywhere I eat is going to be organic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not crazy to say, okay, I'm just not going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, I didn't even look at a menu when I went somewhere. I just would have
Wow.
a salad and say, what
Yeah.
kind of vegetables you have? Can you give those to me raw?
Mm-hmm.
And can you make, if there's a chef, it's a nice restaurant, can you make me something that's a vegan thing that I can dip it in or something? I've not had any problem eating out ever, even when I'm traveling around the world. Never a problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Amazing.
I don't know why people are saying, oh, I can't. I don't understand.
Me too. I make it work no matter where I go.
Yeah.
Even on the airplane traveling.
Me
I travel
too.
all the time. And
Me too.
I want to eat raw when I travel because I want to feel my best and have the most
Exactly.
energy, and that's what does it.
I don't have a problem anywhere.
Yeah.
Almost every restaurant. And if I do look at a menu,
Yeah.
I'll say, oh, this is what they have. Can I have this, and can you just give it to me raw? And they might
Yeah.
look. But most of the time, I have to say, when I've traveled with other people who are real gourmets, I'll order my dish and then they're looking at wish I would have ordered that.
Yeah, right?
I've eaten,
Yeah.
here's this beautiful platter of vegetables with
Yeah.
and they go, oh my God, that looks good. So
Right.
it makes me
Then they
laugh.
eat their
'cause-
octopus and they're
Right,
like,
right, exactly.
Maybe she's onto something. over
Exactly.
there.
No, because it's so beautiful. How could it not be?
Yeah.
When you look at fruits and you look at the colors of vegetables and stuff, it really is good. I have no problem. And I don't want I tell people all the time, if you have to cook for your kids or your husband or whatever, make your own food first, have it sitting there, and then make theirs. If not, you're tempted to eat that because you're so hungry. Make yours and you go, oh, mine's going to really be good.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you can't, you can't just cook for yourself. You have to cook for other people. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But you could still discipline yourself by saying, I'm going to make myself something awesome tonight. And there it is. As soon as I'm finished with theirs, I'm eating this.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly. And I was just thinking, you're not wearing any makeup, right?
no.
You're glowing.
This
Just
is
such a
it.
natural beauty, Mimi.
Sunscreen.
Yeah.
I do use some sunscreen.
You do? Yeah.
But yeah. I just started. I didn't before. I was a showgirl in Las Vegas. I used to wear a lot of makeup in the early days like
Yeah.
that. But I haven't worn makeup in years. I don't wear makeup.
I love it. It suits you. Like that.
Occasionally, when I do TV or something, they make me put it on.
Yeah.
And I just hate it. I think it looks
Yeah.
so phony and it feels
Yeah.
stiff and
You don't
doesn't
need
feel
it.
good. I don't want it. Look, I know I don't look like I used to. That's okay with me. I look at my pictures and I think I told you the story. My son brought a picture up of me and
Yeah.
showed it to me, and he said, look how good you look with dark hair. Maybe you should put some dark in her. In the picture he showed me, I was 30 years old.
Yeah.
I keep laughing and go, oh, poor baby. He remembers his mommy looking like that. I don't look like that
You look
anymore.
great.
So yeah, I don't really see myself. This is what I see when I look in the mirror, because I don't do, I have to cover the gray in my eyebrows because I don't like my eyebrows gray. They look like, some old man or something. They get bushy. It's
Yeah.
bad eyebrows when you get
Yeah.
gray. So that I have done. That's the only thing. But when I stand in the mirror, I look at myself as a whole, my body, and I say, okay, this is good. It's just a silhouette.
good.
That's all I see. This is a good silhouette. I dress nice. I dress sometimes younger than my age, but I don't know if there's clothes for, my age. I don't know what that means.
No, you just.
I
perfect.
shop at at Forever 21 or
I love it.
Target or wherever. I find something I like. That's it. And I'm lucky. I still have good long legs from
Yeah.
the showgirl days.
Yeah.
And so I can wear nice pants and stuff like that. But I don't pick at myself, and I don't spend too much time in the mirror. And I wash my face every day and wash it at night. That's it. I feel. I was using some face stuff for a while, but I don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
I was on some regular stuff that I was using, and
Yeah.
I haven't used it for a long time because I'm kind of over all of
Your
that.
skin looks good.
I just want something natural that I would put
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
So I'm open to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But otherwise, that's it. I have my nails cut off short. I don't wear nail polish. I'm like
Low
trying to be.
maintenance, though. You can
Yeah, I'm
live
trying to
life,
be.
paint and do things.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I want to spend time doing is painting. That's how I feel. Every day I get up, I want to go paint. I can't even tell you what it's like when you have something that you love to do that you wake up every day and you're passionate about. That to me is everything.
That's the key to life.
It is.
That's above food and everything.
It is above everything. It's like, and I love waking up hungry because I eat early and I have a full night's sleep. Sometimes I sleep till 9, but you normally 7 or 8. And I wake up hungry, and that's a good thing. I think that's a good sign because I'm rested, and now I want something to eat. But then I get down here. A juice will fill me up. If I have a juice, that's fine. If I have I don't know. Sometimes I fix a latte of some, almond milk or something, which I love, with a little cardamom in there. It's really good. A little maple syrup.
That sounds good.
That fills me up. It's delicious, warm drink. Listen, when you're raw, you can warm food, people. Let me just tell you, you can have warm tea. You can warm things in the dehydrator. You don't have to eat cold food.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
We eat warm food.
Yeah.
Not hot. We don't cook it,
Yeah.
but we eat warm food.
Exactly.
That people think, oh, I live in cold weather. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
You can still warm
Use
your
the
food.
spices or warm the food.
Yeah, and if you have a dehydrator, that's like an oven to me. You can make cookies and crackers and breads and
True.
there's nothing in. Do you find anything that you can't fix? No.
No. Yeah, no.
That's what.
Yeah, literally.
That's how I
There's
feel.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, somebody next, they were asking, have you ever played around with hormone replacement, particularly bioidentical hormone replacement? And what's been her experience with them?
Well, I've always had the doctors tell me I should take it. I didn't. When I was going through menopause, which is 58, very late.
Wow, very late.
58.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, already, enough. Stop. Some people don't like it, but I already had my kids. It's like, enough already.
Yeah.
And then finally at 58, it stopped.
Yeah.
And all my friends around me
Yeah.
were taking stuff, and I didn't want to. I went to acupuncture,
Yeah.
and it helped me.
Wow.
Acupuncture helped me through all of it, which was really
Fascinating.
great. And then throughout the time, people have told me I should do it. My doctor said, oh, there's this little thing we can implant. It's like a little rice piece. I said, no, I don't think so. I've never tried it, and I don't want to.
No.
And I went recently, I don't know, maybe, I guess it's since I've been here. So 5 years ago, I went, I thought, my doctor told me I had no estrogen. I said, no or low? He said, none.
Wow.
You have no estrogen.
Really?
So I said, well, what do you think? So he said I should do something. And I thought, no. So I went to see a holistic person here. And she said, you don't want to start now at 80 and do that. Don't do that at this time. I don't know what it means that I don't have estrogen. Obviously, I've got hair. I feel good. I don't know why I have to have it or what good it's going to do me because I don't have any signs of, I don't feel angry or stressed or certain things that people do when they go through. I don't know, but he tells me I have no estrogen.
Interesting.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And that was 5 years ago?
5 years ago.
Well,
and I saw her and she said, well, you don't want to start it now. You're 80. Why introduce something into your body that you don't want?
Sure,
I think for a lot of women, if they can just pass that uncomfortable stage, which I don't remember having, but I know my girls have it or friends have it. If you could just pass that, I think you're okay. But I do know a lot of people that feel they need it. So I'm not a doctor and I'm not in your body. I can't.
True, that's the thing.
I can't actually tell you anything about that. I can only say that this is what I do.
Yeah.
So right now, does it pay for me to go do anything? I don't think so. I'm feeling really good, so I don't want to mess around with anything.
Yeah, listen to your body. And somebody said, well, we kind of touched on this. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Any arthritis, back pain, knee pain, hands? How long? And that's okay. They have a bunch of other questions, but we'll just.
Okay, well, I think that I had I think I had arthritis because I started to get,
Oh, really?
Before I was raw.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow.
I don't have it. So I have a knee that sometimes does a funny thing, and they x-rayed it, and they said, you might have a little arthritis there. But now it's fine. I didn't do anything, and now it feels fine. So the other thing is my thumbs, which usually have nothing to do with arthritis. It has to do with my phone and scrolling and holding my because I have bad out. My eyesight's not great, so I don't want to call it bad because I love my eyes. But I with this hand, I'm holding a magnifying glass, and it's like all day. Then I'm online like this, and my thumbs got sore. So I just had some acupuncture for it. But I don't think it's arthritis.
No.
And no, I don't wake up with backache, and I found a nice pillow, so I have no neck ache. I was having a neck ache from my pillow.
Yeah.
I've also added to my life in the last 5 years, I get a massage every 3 weeks.
Wow, really?
That is something, if you don't book it, you don't do it.
True.
So she comes to the house. I get that every 3 weeks. And I'm telling you, it's part of your health routine.
Okay, you're making me want to do that. That's
No.
nice they come to the house. I want to try that.
It comes to the house. I get an hour. She always does it over. It probably ends up being an hour and a half massage. And I book it every 3 weeks. I might have to change if I'm out of town or something. But if you don't book it and you say, oh, I'm going to go to a massage, months go by and you forget. So
True. Good
I
point.
decided I'm giving myself that. I'm going to give myself a massage.
I love that.
And that's one thing that's in my regime to
Self-care.
Yeah. Yeah. I recommend that highly. It really does make you feel better. You have that to look forward to.
Okay, I love that. And somebody was saying, have you ever been overweight? Have you ever struggled with weight? And did your weight change as your diet changed?
Yeah, I struggled with weight.
You did?
I was very skinny early on in life, very, very thin. When I was going to school, they used to call me Skinny Minnie. And so I was thin. And then up until 12, I was fat. And then I got really thin. And then I'm trying to think, yes, I've been heavy. Actually, since even I met Mike, because I see a picture of myself I posted one time a picture of myself before and after Raw. And it was at my heaviest weight, which I don't know what it was, but we were in Europe and I saw a picture and I had this roll and I just looked just dumpy. I don't say I was really big, but I was definitely overweight in my mind. That I looked overweight. And then when I went on Raw, that was it.
Yeah, it just puts your weight, I feel like, at
Don't
whatever
worry
your
about
body's meant to be. When you go raw, you don't even have to think about it.
Honestly, I don't think diets work, but raw food works. I think that really makes a big difference because you have to eat a lot, by the way, to get your calories in. If you're eating healthy food, you need to eat a lot of food. If you're already a thin person, you have to be careful and make sure that you eat enough of avocados and seeds and nuts and oils and stuff. Otherwise, people lose weight a lot.
True. Yeah.
So, yeah,
and they're not thriving. If they're not eating enough, that's a big key.
Do not focus on diet. I'm sorry. I just think that it's useless. People go on all these diets. And what about this stuff now that they're using to lose weight?
The Ozempic and everything?
I'm really worried about that.
Yeah, me too, right?
You
It's
can't
crazy.
stop, they say, once you start.
Like what? Stop taking it? Get addicted, you mean?
Yeah, you can't stop because you'll get fat right away.
Oh, wow.
And I saw that special that Oprah said, well, I'm tired of doing it. And some people can diet and lose weight and some people can't. I don't know about that, but some people say they can't, even though they diet. Maybe that is true. Maybe there's more to it, the mental capacity. And so, certainly she would have been able to do it because she has a cook and everything all the time. She said she couldn't lose the weight, so she's on it. I know other people on it, and they say, I couldn't lose weight before. I just don't. It hasn't been around long enough. I don't know what it's going to do to the rest of your body.
True.
I've heard some negative things. I just don't think it's the way. And so what if you go through life a little heavier than you'd like to be? Is that so bad if you feel good?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think if you're too heavy, you feel good. But if you feel good and you have a little more weight than you'd like, that's okay.
That's all that matters.
Stop
yeah.
worrying. Who are you trying to look like? Like
True.
somebody on TV or some beautiful skinny lady out there?
Yeah.
Yes, we'd love to have that body, but we're not all built the same. I couldn't be as thin as you, I don't think. I mean, I'm not a heavy person, but your body looks healthy.
Thanks.
It's not, you're not like you're look too skinny or anything.
No,
your body
yeah.
is healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to go what looks right for your body.
I
And
agree.
sometimes you have more numbers on the
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah, I weigh more now on raw food than I did before. Yeah.
Probably healthier
Yeah.
for you to
That's
have
why I
that.
think what you're saying too, it's a key to like eat enough.
Eat enough. You eat
Otherwise, I
enough.
think you'll
You'll
feel
be
weak,
hungry.
tired.
You should
lose
not
weight,
be
and
hungry.
You'll just think this lifestyle does not work at all.
I don't care if you eat all day. You should not be hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
If you need to eat something every hour, 2
Yeah,
hours,
exactly.
eat it. And raw food is not going to hurt
Yeah.
you. Have a carrot. Eat something. I don't
Yeah.
know what. Just eat.
Have a carrot.
Keep eating. Keep eating.
Keep eating. I agree. Keep
Chop up
eating.
those
We should
vegetables
make
in
some
there.
Merch. Keep eating.
Yeah, keep eating. That's
And-
one thing that's great about raw food. I have to say, if you like to eat, you can eat.
That's the
you
thing.
can have plenty
That's
of
why
food.
I love it.
I know.
It's like you have a food addiction, you have a problem, just go to raw food.
Go
Start
to
eating
raw
the
food.
raw
And
chocolate
look how-
avocado cakes.
Exactly.
You will still lose all the weight.
Chocolate.
You'll
Oh
feel
my
great.
God, that chocolate avocado pie. I made raw desserts for people
Yeah.
in my neighborhood where I used to live because they were going, what does that mean, raw food? So I just
Yeah.
brought desserts saying, oh my God, that's the best key lime pie. I said, well, if I tell you it had an avocado in it, they went, what? It was so funny. They'd be so shocked.
Yeah.
So I cooked for my neighborhood who never had raw food before, where I lived here in San Diego, but it was in the country, Ramona. And all my friends that were eating food and loved it.
Yeah.
They loved the food. And I was very good
bet.
friends with Robin Leach.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know
Yeah,
who he is,
yeah.
but he did the show Rich and the Famous years ago.
Everyone knows Robin Leach.
Yeah, he's passed away, but he
Yeah.
came to my house to eat raw food because he wanted to try it. Because we've traveled to Europe with him. Mike and I have gone to Europe with him, and we're very close. He always used to buy my books. Great supporter. Someone I miss deeply.
Yeah.
He's so great. But he came to my house and he ate. He said, "Whoa!"
Right?
He was knocked out. He went and bought the spiralizer. He bought a few things that I had in the house, and he said, "I'm going to eat like this." He really tried, but he said, "I can't give up my wine. I can't do it." But he tried juicing and everything. But he thought the food was great. I fixed him a
great.
lasagna, and I warmed it, and I've made everything so beautiful. He couldn't, and he has eaten with the Michelin star chefs all over the world.
Yeah, so way to go.
And he thought it was great. And that was a real compliment from him because I know how he is with food. I've been traveling with him for a time, and he was an awesome person. Yeah.
Yeah, and if somebody was like, why raw food, Mimi? Why not cooked food? If somebody's just a cooked food eater and they're just listening to you right now, why should I eat raw food over cooked food?
Because once you cook your food, that's what they always say, over 115, 18 degrees, you lose all the enzymes. And after 30, we don't manufacture any more enzymes. And the other way you get enzymes is by chewing your food until that salad or food turns to liquid. Do you do that? I bet you don't. Most people don't.
Most people
chew
are just
their
rushing
food
through
enough,
their food, watching YouTube,
talking
eating.
and just eating and not, Did you ever sit in a quiet meal and just eat that salad and take time? So we need enzymes. And yes, you can take enzymes. You can take tablets. There's tablets out there. It's just not the same. I feel, my body feels when I eat raw food, I feel nourished. If you're eating too much food of the other food and you're overweight or you would like to lose some weight, it's because you're not getting enough nutrients in your food.
True.
You're cooking it out and then you're more hungry because you don't have nutrients. If I don't have something raw, like salads or something every day, I'm more hungry. I want to eat because I'm not getting the nutrients. I'm eating something that I'm not getting enough nutrients. So that's why I think raw food's important.
Yeah.
And that is why I say, if you can't do that as a full-time job, you have to eat enough. And juicing will give you a lot for the day to start out.
Yeah.
What happens is when you drink that juice, you feel so good that you don't want that old breakfast anymore. And then lunchtime comes around, you think, oh, well, I did so good. Maybe I'll just have a salad now.
True.
It really helps you. The juice really helps you eat healthier. And, you like I say, you can't get enough in a day. And juicing really does it.
It does. And if somebody's like, where to start? How should I start? Any advice for that?
Yeah, juicing.
Yeah, juicing. Good
Yeah,
idea.
and they have the little blender things now with one thing. Okay, you can't get a lot in there, but start somewhere. And I say organic because that's how I feel. You've got to find organic food. I know it's not always easy, but don't buy strawberries unless they're organic. Don't buy berries or thin-skinned fruits or lettuces, greens. If you're buying that, you're getting pesticides.
Especially on strawberries.
They
yeah,
have
and
the
veins.
highest.
Yeah, I saw
And so do the greens.
Yeah, the EWG just released their stats for the year for 2024. And I think they said like collard greens, mustard greens, and kale had like 204 different
Right.
pesticides or something. Literally, I think it was 204.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, that's mind blowing, right? Yeah. So organic is really
don't
important, right?
do it.
Especially on a raw food lifestyle,
Yeah.
eating a lot of the produce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to do it. I gave a talk once and a woman said, oh, well, we grow strawberries and, in a big field and we wash them off. No, it doesn't come off. It's in there. It's in the soil. It's in the water. It's in everything. You can't think that you can wash it off and you're not going to get any pesticides.
And it's designed to kill stuff, right? So what's it
Exactly.
doing to our gut? Killing
Exactly.
microbiome, right?
That is a huge thing, by
Yeah.
the way. I really do feel that you have to have that at home. Don't be crazy. Then you go out, you want to eat, and you're with other people. You can have that, but don't eat that on a daily basis. It's just like process. Oh, one thing I want to say. Don't eat processed food. Hello.
Right? That's got to be the worst of
Cook
everything.
cook your own fresh food. Eat whatever you want, but don't eat processed food.
Eat whole foods, right?
Whole food.
Processed food is the worst. Even if you don't want to be vegan, processed food.
Processed food, killer. Cut your life short. You might not think a few years make a difference, but when you get to be my age, every year makes a difference. You don't want to cut your life short.
Yeah, and your life now is a reflection of your past choices,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
No, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Stop all this nonsense going on in the world. I don't like to watch. I know everything going on. I watch the news. I see everything. It's not what I want to put in my brain all the time. I'm sorry. I'd rather watch Hallmark, even though I know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
I love it. It always ends happy.
Yeah.
I always know when they go into kiss, they're going to get interrupted and for the first kiss. And then the next, I feel like I wrote them all, because I've seen so
Yeah.
many. I would rather see that than watch something that makes me not feel good. I don't want anything that scares me or makes me feel bad or, the dark stuff. I just don't like those kind of things. I like funny stuff.
Me too.
I prefer funny and romantic
Me too.
comedy.
Then you're laughing, you're
corny,
attracting better
whatever.
things, and it puts you in a
Because-
better frequency, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's what we put out in the world. You used to think about John Lennon when he used to say, peace and love, and let's put it out in the world. I do believe that it's all energy, and that whatever we can do to contribute to a better energy, that's what we do.
Even if someone harms us, right? It's
Yeah,
better not to react
exactly.
with the bad energy back.
Exactly, because I think that's what's going on right now in part of the world right now. It's like you get pissed off because somebody's hurt, other people are killed, unnecessary stuff is going on, but killing back doesn't solve anything. I don't know what the answer is to that, but it can't be that. It just can't be.
I guess it's just more love, right? The
I
answer.
think that's it. We have to come from love as much as possible. I mean, I live in an area, I'm in a city. There are a lot of homeless people here. I just try to give all the love I can. I try to help out a little bit. It's just people are there. I don't know why or how, but that doesn't matter. I can see if they're in need. I want to help.
I love that, Mimi.
Yeah.
And somebody said, what would your advice be for young women in terms of career or relationships? And what is your advice for making peace with aging?
Wow.
Those are good questions, right?
Those are really great.
Those are loaded.
Okay, career and relationships and aging. All right, career. Well, do what you love and the money follows. I do believe that. Maybe you can't do everything you love, but if you've got a job that's feeding you and taking your household, paying for your household, doesn't mean you can't do the other things you love. Everything is online. You want to learn to sing? Do that. You want to learn to dance? Do that. You can find everything that you want to do in your life is online. And you might not know what it is. You got to go out and try things. Take different classes. Try different things. And then something will come to you that you love to do. That's really important. Relationships, well, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Hello. I mean, you can have a lot of relationships. You can be in love, and you have to decide what it is you want. I know a lot of women now who are a little older that they don't want to be. They've been married. They're independent. They have their own money, and they said they'll never get married again. They're much happier by themselves. I like a relationship. I've always been a relationship person. I've always been in a relationship. I very rarely have not been in a relationship. But I met Mike online, and I do think it's a good way to meet someone. My neighbors, I can't tell you how many people I know met online and got married.
Yeah.
So many are happy from that because you don't have to meet someone right away. You can talk online. You learn a lot about yourself when you're just writing back and forth. Like you say something and you think it meant one way and they take it another way. You really learn a lot about communicating that way. And I really enjoyed dating online. I did it for a long time. I met really nice guys, but then Mike came along and that was it. I knew he was a good guy, and that's who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. But think about this. I was 64 when I met him. He was 45. That's a big age difference.
That is.
It's huge. But he thought I was younger, and he thought I was maybe a little bit older than him, but not that much older. But then he realized later, he saw some press, and he knew how old I was. And I didn't know. I didn't tell him my age.
Yeah.
I didn't lie, but I didn't say, if I tell you, I have to kill you. I'm not telling you. I told my kids, do not tell them how old you are when you meet him. And then finally one day he said to me, I know how old you are. I know you don't. He said, oh, yes, I do. You're 64. I saw press that was in your booth because I invented this board game for women called Cowgirls Ride the Trail of Truth. Got a lot of press on it. And he was in my booth reading the press. And he realized they said how old I was.
And then how did he react?
Then
He was okay.
He said, it's too late. I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
But he always tells me, he said, you're getting too much for me. I need to trade you in for a 90-year-old. He said, I wear him out. My
you
favorite
probably have more
line of
energy
his.
than him
I have
sometimes,
to
right?
trade you in for a 90-year-old.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So relationships, don't be panicked. Don't jump into something unless it feels right.
That's a big
And give
one.
it a chance. I mean, I don't think people should get married on these shows like they've been
Like
1
Love
month.
is Blind and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, look at The Golden Bachelor. I mean, yes, there's
Yeah.
love out there, but don't just you can't jump into anything. You have to take your time to know somebody and see if this is somebody you're compatible with. And then, you might have to drop some of the things that you wanted. Don't be so particular. Everybody's got faults.
Yeah.
Just see if this person is, how you feel about that person. So don't rush into that. So I think those two things are really important.
And any like keys to success for a relationship? Because you've been together a couple decades, right?
Don't try to change anybody.
That's the biggest key.
That's the biggest thing. You don't like it's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't live by example, if you can't live by example of what you would like, and they either pick up on that or not, but you can't really change anybody. And if it bothers you, you have to look at the good stuff and the stuff is not that bothers you, and see which is more. You're never going to find everything that someone does that's great. You don't. You don't even like everything you do yourself.
Exactly.
So how could you expect that?
You should do everything right.
Exactly.
Even though I don't.
Yeah, right. You do everything right. No, I don't. I make mistakes. I do stupid things sometimes, which I laugh at. I have a good sense of humor. But no, I think you can't change anybody. And then the last part of that is about aging. Well, you already know what can you do about aging? Nothing. It's going to happen. You can take it the way you like it. You can be pissed off. You can be mad. You can look at you can get your walker and never move around and just think that your life is over. Or you can do what I do, is just find new things that you love to do. That is a big thing, people. I've been to those old folks' homes, where they put people in.
Yes.
My sister was in one. She wasn't a very active person, my one sister. And she was in a home, and I went there, and I saw all these people. And they came in, and they were pretty good doing things for themselves. And they want you to be dependent on them, because they get money for everything that you do. They want her she didn't use a walker. They want her to use a walker.
What a sad way to live around that type of environment.
The food is horrible.
With those intentions and stuff,
They say, oh, we've got all these activities. You've got all this and all that. Maybe some places are good, but the places I've seen, you get there and you're going there to die. That's what's in your mind. This is my last stop. Maybe I can make beads, or I can learn something, or go see a movie with somebody or something. I just think they make you feel very old when you get in there. And when you're around a lot of older people, you feel old. That's why I like being around younger people.
Yeah.
I don't know people my age, really.
I love it.
I really don't know people my age. I'm mostly around younger people.
Yeah. We've
so
got such
I don't
young
want
energy, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be in those senior.
No,
I don't want
me
those
too.
senior environments. And my friend moved into one, and she was young. She was not really. She was in her 50s, but was one of those 50s and older. And I'm telling you, I'm sure she was up all night with ambulances coming to pick up people. You got to move out of here. This is not a good.
This is depressing.
It's depressing.
This is
so
depressing.
That's my answer on all those things.
Yeah,
on
that
career,
was good.
relationship, and
Okay.
aging. Don't worry about any of it. Just make it the way you want. How about that?
And that's another part of the reason I take care of myself now, to avoid. I don't want to be in the old age homes.
Right.
That's
Right.
not how I want to live my life. I want to be like you in my 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are asking about your dental health and your bone health. Anything to say about that? With
Well,
the vegan,
I've been
or-
told to have osteoporosis, but
Really?
osteopenia.
Oh.
But when you're walking and I don't have any. I did shrink. We
Yeah.
did shrink.
Yeah.
First time I found out I shrunk, I was so what? We were at the hardware store, and there was a yardstick up there, and he had me stand there, and he said, "Oh, you're 5'6.5". I said, "I am not. I'm 5'8".
So you actually
almost 5'8". And he said, That's what I shrunk. Yeah, but I don't. Again, I'm active. I don't take anything. I get enough calcium. It's not good. It isn't actually good to take a lot of calcium because it hardens your bone. This vegan doctor told me all about that they told me I should take calcium. He said, if you take calcium, too much calcium, and you fall, you're going to crack a bone because it gets hard.
I've heard that too.
So don't take it. I've never taken any calcium then. I started, and then he told me, and I stopped right away. So that's it on the calcium.
Yeah, I interviewed David Wolf the other day. Do you know him? And he
Yeah,
was
of course I know
talking
David.
about that type of thing too,
Yeah.
in it with the calcium.
Calcium, yeah. I don't take the calcium for that. And what else was it? There was one more part.
The teeth.
Oh, the
so
teeth.
How, as a vegan, raw vegan, any dental problems?
No, my teeth are pretty good.
Yeah, your teeth look great.
Yeah.
You do look great. Like, I wish I could bring you all, the amazing viewers here in Mimi's beautiful space. That is such good vibes.
Here
to
it
see
is.
truly in person how great she really looks. And not just even the looks. Like I said, the energy and what you embody. I love it.
I think that's the big part of it. I think that I could look old like anyone else. But here's the thing. It's really funny. Somebody keeps posting a picture of me with another lady and saying these two ladies are 85. I don't know that other lady. She's dressed like a little grandma. She's got the gray curly hair.
Yeah.
I had blonde hair at the time. They both posted me as a blonde and her. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's an insult. I don't want to be compared to anybody else. And why should they be compared to me that she looks this way and I look that way? And people say to me, oh, you must have had an easy life. No, I grew up very poor. It's not like I grew up a rich person. I grew up a poor person, actually. We had no money. My family was not a rich. My dad worked. My mom worked. No, not that. We weren't even middle class. We were lower, and so that's not it. It's not like I haven't had any hardships. I've had that, so that's not an excuse. You probably have the easy life, but don't compare put pictures of me up with other people and say, look at it, this is what happens when you eat raw food and you eat healthy. You'll look like this and you'll look like that if you don't.
Yeah,
I don't like
compare
that.
to a person.
I think that's so insulting. That's somebody's mother and grandmother.
Yeah.
You don't know who that, and you don't know that person. You took a picture off of somewhere and just said that we're both 85. I just made me so mad, and I said, please take that down.
That's good.
But it's out there, and every once in a while it pops up. And I was like, don't put that up there anymore. Once you have something on the internet, you're stuck with it. It's going to come up again.
Most cases.
But don't do that. So maybe I can walk better, and I'm better than somebody in a senior home. But that's just where they're at right now. And I wish I could go in and say, listen, this would have helped you, and it still can help you to feel better. But you have to change your mind around. But I don't want to compare myself to anybody, how I look and how somebody else my age looks. It's just ridiculous because there's going to be everything out there. I think in life, you have to accept everybody. You see people that are heavy. You see people that are too thin. You see people that look sick. You see people's faces that were angry. They look like a rough life. People around my neighborhood talk to themselves when they're walking around because they have a little mental illness. And this is how we live. There's Republicans. There's Democrats. There's people who don't vote at all. There's everything out there. We have to just stop worrying about other people.
True.
We have enough to worry about with ourselves and our own family that we have to be concerned what other people are thinking or doing. We can't do that. And I have my political views. I don't post things online. I let people be who they are.
Me too.
I don't want to insult anybody, and I don't want to be insulted.
Me too. Yeah.
That's how I feel. This is the kind of person I am. That's, I think, what makes me happy.
Yeah. Amazing, Mimi. This has been such a good talk.
Are we not finished yet, are we?
Well, I could go on forever with you.
Did we have an hour?
Honestly. How long are we at, do you think? Yeah, we've done an hour and 15.
This is what happened when we were before.
I'm trying to see if I have any other quick questions. I was going to ask you too. Is there anything else you feel like we've missed that you want to share? Or any what's your favorite book or anything you'd want to leave behind as your legacy?
Well, that I must say, I think I've done that. I think all the time, all the people I feel I've helped in some way. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire people. I feel like I've done it. I've written books. I've left YouTube videos. I've left a board game. I've left so much behind. I love that. Of stuff that people have told me, how I've changed their life, and their life changed other people's life, and that's down the line. Well, I mean, really, what else is there? That's what you're doing. Yeah. You're introducing people to new ways to think, and you're interviewing interesting people who are living a life where it's happy. You're changing lives, and that's always what I wanted to do. Even with my board game, it was for women, and it was about letting us all see how much we are alike and so forth. I think that's what my legacy is here. I've already done it, and I feel really good about that. I've left that. Plus, my kids are also amazing and awesome, and my grandkids are just unbelievable. I feel like I've influenced my whole family. Yeah. I am part of all of my family. Our DNA, our blood together is really important. Yeah. Yeah, and it's so interesting, that whole DNA thing. I joined 23andMe because my oldest son did it and he wanted me to do it. And I just met a third cousin recently who lives in San Diego, and she said, "Oh my God, you're my third cousin. I really have to meet you in person. We have great grandparents or something." And I met her, and I felt so connected with her right away. It's like I felt related. I looked at her like I knew her, and it was really a cool thing. That's cool. It was really great. So I think that all has to do with something. We do have that DNA. We do carry certain stuff. True. Genes, I think that we do carry that. but I do think we can alter things.
And our other interview was amazing. I'll put it on the screen at the end of this video and below. But how long were you raw? And why did you go back to some cooked food? In case you're wondering.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Well, I was raw for over a decade. Let's see. Yeah. 15 years, something like that. Raw. Vegan before. And why did I go back? I don't know, really. I had a couple cooked things. By the way,
I love it. Yeah.
they're addictive.
Yeah.
We know that. I liked my sweet potato cooked. I eat it raw too. I love artichokes. I decided to have an artichoke and was like, okay, that tastes good.
Yeah.
I don't really know why. My body probably just wanted me to eat some cooked food.
Yeah.
But I still say I feel the best on raw food. When I eat cooked food, it's heavy on me. Even now, whatever I eat. And I think, well, another part of it too is that I just felt like, I'm cooking for somebody else. I could say it made my life a little easier. I'm not sure if that's really a reason why. I don't know why, but I did it, and I don't think I have to make any excuses about it to people. And, you did what? You're eating something cooked? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I still feel raw food. I would say 100 times over, I feel the best when I'm eating all raw. I can say that. So you would think I would do that now, but I just don't feel like it right now.
You're still healthy, though.
And I might go back to not eat any cooked food again. I don't know.
You're high raw, though, right? I would say you're
high raw. Definitely that.
Yeah.
I'm not eating
most of your
all
meals
meals
are raw.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, most of my meals are raw.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell people, that's why I say all the time now, I'm not just all raw. When they say all raw, I said, I'm not all raw anymore. Someone was going to interview me, and he was interviewing me because I'm raw. And I said, no, I'm not all raw anymore. If you want to interview me, that's fine. But I do eat some cooked food. But I do believe in eating mostly raw, probably 80% raw, I would say. But I like it the best.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, well, that's it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And okay, well, this has been such a good talk. Thanks again. Give me a hug. Thanks for welcoming me.
Thank you for coming all this way to see me. I really appreciate
And you've
that.
blown me away. It's even another level in person. So yeah, this has been great. Everybody go follow Mimi. She is active on social media. I love it. At 85, she's so active on there. She sells her art. She does so many things. Her art is absolutely stunning. Go buy one of her art pieces. Go buy one of her, I know you have at least 7 books. How many total do you have?
7.
Yeah, 7. So I'll link them all below. And you do coaching and stuff too, or no? Coaching. Go hit up Mimi. This is amazing. I love it. At 85, such an inspiration. Still doing podcasts, all these things, beaming. I feel like I'm hanging out with somebody my age. So let's all eat more raw foods, more plant foods. Let's all treat ourselves better, think more positive thoughts. I hope this inspired you. Be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.